Inspiration comes from so many different sources. What do you get inspired by? Post it in the comments and let me know. Recently, I was just scrolling through Facebook and I saw this picture and I was like, oh my gosh, I can do that. I'm gonna show you how I took the Pinterest picture and I recreated it my way using DIY paint and Iron Orchid Design products. Let's go.
You can create a really cool effect by mixing in different color paints for your background. Here I'm using Cowgirl Coral, Queen Bee, Vintage Linen, and I think I ended up using a little bit of Summer Crush. I applied all of the paint on there and then just started blending every which way. And I love the effect. Next, after it dried, I took a piece of chalk and I created the outline for my vase. And then I applied the paint using a palette knife. I used Vintage Linen, Apothecary, and a green that I had made up using Aviary and weathered wood. And I just layered and layered until I liked it. Eventually, I actually ended up widening the vase just because I didn't like the scale. But at least you start with something and then you work from there. Next, I took my IOD ink and my Fruitful Harvest stamps and I started applying my pumpkins to the bottom. Using my masks, I created lots of layers. I love the masks and how it works. Then I took my sunflower transfers from Painterly Florals and I started applying it, but I realized I didn't seal it, so I only applied one. And then I started painting in my pumpkins using the palette knife technique again. I'm using Summer Crush, Vintage Linen, Apothecary.
I really want to do some collaboration playlists on YouTube. If you're creative and you're trying to grow your YouTube and you're creating content on there, so if you're interested in that, let me know. Message me on my Facebook page. I would love to do that with you and collaborate.
I took weathered wood and I put a little bit of white to highlight my stems. I did use embossing powder on the Harvest stamp. I ended up not liking it, changed it up later, but I really do love to use the embossing powders. I went ahead and I added one more pumpkin. It looks like a hot mess until you paint it in. And because I'm using a palette knife, it really does cover up all of the lines. Then next, I went ahead and I painted in all of my leaves and the wheat. I like to start my sealer with a wet brush. It just gives you a better coverage. I applied Big Top all over and then I applied my Painterly Florals sunflowers.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden.
Let me know, don't forget, what inspires you. Post it in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing really helps my YouTube channel grow, and I'm really working hard at creating good content and to increase my channel. Speaking of things that I'm working hard on, I have a monthly subscription group. It's a private group that I'm posting on Facebook, and it's to teach creatives how to do media and marketing and using tools from their phone, their iPad, or their computer to create beautiful, professional, quality work. I'm going to be teaching you how to create and edit videos, how to take good pictures and create ads to sell your goods, or to just let everybody know what you're doing. If you want to learn these simple ways of increasing your business or getting the word out there about what you do, you'll want to check it out. All of the links are in the description. You could just go to my website, lisaboondesigns.com. Not only can you subscribe to my monthly subscription there, you could also purchase the products that I use in this video. Guess who I got to meet? If you've been on my page, you saw the picture, Beth from Vintage Bandits. And y'all, she hooked me up with all of these Monahan papers. I've got so many papers.
After picking out the paper and then cutting it to size, I went ahead and applied liquid patina right onto the piece of wood. I didn't even paint it. And then I went ahead and I applied it. Now, Monahan papers are thick, but liquid patina worked. Then I took my Trimmings 3 IOD mold. I put some cornstarch in there, took out the excess, brought out my air dry clay, and went ahead and started putting it into the mold. It's so easy to work with Iron Orchid design products. You just can't beat it. What you want to do is make sure you have a nice flat background, because that's what you're going to end up gluing to your product. And it just rolls right out because of the cornstarch. I like to use Quick and Thick by Type Bond, and I just applied it to the spine, quote unquote, of my book and just cut off the excess. Now, this particular piece of wood had a hole in it. I should have filled it before, but I just took some of my clay and put it in there, and then I make sure that all of my edges are down. Next, I go ahead and take the brand new Release 3 Frames mold, and I do the same thing. I take my Iron Orchid Design air dry clay and I fill it into the cavity. Cut out a piece of paper, and I just ended up gluing it with the Quick and Thick, and I applied my frame right over it. Then I sealed the paper with liquid patina. And now I'm taking Tarnished Pearl and I'm going to paint my frame. You don't have to paint it. I just wanted an off-white look. And I painted the entire book, aka piece of wood. And then I applied liquid patina, and I made sure to really get it in all of those crevices. This is important for the next step. Dark and Decrepit is also a liquid patina, but it works as a stain. And I love using liquid patina. You can also use it as a glaze, like I'm using it here. And you just wipe it back. Because I sealed it first, I'm able to do that. And look at the details. They just pop. And you just apply as much or as little as you want and just wipe it back. I'm actually using a baby wipe. Then I take a little scrap from an IOD transfer. I think this is from Floral Anthology, and then a little butterfly from Entomology. And voila! It looks and it feels like a book. I actually tricked my husband. I go ahead and I dirty up the sides because they were way too white for me, and it just makes it really pop. Then I'm sealing in everything that I did with the liquid patina. I wanted to add a little bit more brightness, so I added a little bit more tarnished pearl and then I sealed it again.
I hope you were inspired, and I hope you'll try something that you've never tried before. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that you have an incredibly blessed day.